It was good. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, I hope you can get something productive out of it. Mine began pretty early this morning at 6 a.m., opening the garage door to let our grandson in, who was helping us charge the battery for Barbara's van. So there we are. So it was a pretty early start to the day. All right. So I found a quote that sort of matches the reading for today. It's actually from this book, Joyous Abundance Journal. And the title for May 29th is It's All About Awareness. The quote is from Howard Thurman, who was a well-known spiritual leader in the last century, who says, "Whatever may be the tensions and the stresses of a particular day, there's always lurking close at hand the trailing beauty of forgotten joy or unremembered peace." And that was Howard Thurman. And this is Reverend Christine Green. Small drops create a stream of love. And the first quote is from Amelia Earhart. You remember the famous aviator who went missing? A single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. The greatest work kindness does to others is that it makes them kind themselves. Oh, good. Amelia Earhart. And this is Ernest Holmes, who says, "God is greater than all human mistakes, and in God alone is there peace and happiness. God is natural goodness and eternal loving kindness." And that's from the Science of Mind textbook, page 503. Ernest Holmes, of course. And this is from Reverend Christine, who tells another story. The story's really good. They sell the idea, correct? My client shared an experience from her visit to a salon on her day off. The technician was grumpy and out of sorts. My client looked forward to this simple luxury, and now it was ruined by the very person who was supposed to pamper her. My client remembered that she had the power to change her experience and began silently to beam love. Soon the technician began to share about her day and what was on her mind. My client listened and continued to send her love. She later reported it was the best foot massage and pedicure she ever received. We interact with dozens of people throughout the day, barely acknowledging their impacts on our lives. Well, most of us do, correct? Taking time to appreciate and acknowledge others, yes, it makes the world a better place. Compassionate listening, kind words, and loving thoughts are simply acts that nevertheless have the greatest power to change lives. The next time you have an opportunity, practice sharing some random acts of loving kindness. Find something uplifting to say to a co-worker, a spouse, or a friend, or the person at the grocery store, or the gas station, or wherever you are. Take a few moments to listen to them, and especially to listen to someone who's having a difficult day. Send loving thoughts to the person who serves your coffee or is sitting in the car next to you at the red light. Now I'm smiling because I remember something Reverend Jesse said, which I'll tell you in a minute. A life overflowing with happiness can appear to be an elusive dream. It is not. It begins with the smallest drop of thoughtfulness, and it expands into a stream of love. Each act of loving kindness radiates out from us, and it's magnified and multiplied by spirits, and we are all lifted up. The results are priceless. As I mentioned before, my wife's pretty good about helping people to feel better about themselves when she's shopping. But The bit about the car, sitting in the car at the red light. Yeah, I've never actually done that. Sort of, my wife would. She would wave and hi, even though she doesn't know them, which is pretty good. But what I remember was, some drivers do things that irritate us, and I guess conversely, we do some things that irritate the driver's correct. But I remember Reverend Jesse saying, if someone cuts you off on the freeway, you don't know what's in their mind. You don't know what kind of a day they're having. For instance, they could be rushing to an emergency. They could be late for work and that's all they're thinking about. Or they could just be having a wonderful day and they're just really not concentrating and they're just weaving in and out of traffic or anything essentially. In other words, you don't know what's in somebody's mind, truly, unless they tell you. And even then, you don't always know, correct? So, bottom line is, don't judge. And we're all pretty good about judging, right? So that's one thing that we can learn from this. Send love to people. Send love to people you don't know. Remember the story, and I've told it several times, about the man. He's on the subway in New York, and he's got, I forgot how many, 3 or 4 kids with him, and they're being really rowdy, and they're disturbing people. And one person says to the man, "Can you keep your kids under control?" And he simply says to the person, "We just came back from the hospital. They just lost their mother." So you just really never know what's going on in somebody's life and what's going on in their mind. So I send love and compassion to all those around me, seeing their spirits lifted up with joy. I send love and compassion to all those around me, seeing their spirits lifted up with joy. Pretty affirmation, don't you think? And affirmations, just make up your own. I send love to all those around me. I send good thoughts to all those around me. I send good thoughts especially to those people who are grumpy. Pick your own. Pick your own. But what these affirmations do is they start to replace the negative stuff that's in here. And there's negative stuff in here that we got probably even before we were born. And then all the way through our lives. And we pick it up. Some of it we pick up unconsciously, and some of it we pick up consciously. But the bottom line is, when you do affirmations and you really do them, then you start to replace all the negative stuff that's in here with positive stuff. The negative stuff either goes back to be forgotten or it goes away altogether. I don't know which, but the positive stuff then starts to operate. It's like a friend of mine said, "Why do you always signal? Like when you're changing lanes, there's nobody there, you're turning right or left, and there's nobody around." And I tell him it's because human lives are controlled by habits. And if you signal in the car all the time, then you will definitely signal at a time when it's really necessary to do it. But if you do it selectively, it's quite possible that one time when you really needed to do that, you didn't do it. So habit can be good. Habits can be bad, but habits can also be really good. And affirmations help us to get into really good habits. That, my friends, is my contribution for today. Reverend Lisa Ryan will have a different contribution tomorrow morning at 9:15, and I will see you all tomorrow evening. Namaste.